All right, everybody, race number 2 of the night. MMS Money Racing live from Talladega Super Speedway. Kenneth McCullough just won the HGR race. Looks to go 2 in a row and sweep tonight. Michael Wingo right now, fastest in practice. Ron Morris Jr., Richard Elliott, Michael Barksdale, Nathan Harper. That's the top 5. Bobby Rochelle and Joe Herrera. That is the 7 drivers who have practiced, of course. 15 cars on hand tonight. Christopher Carter will be joining me back in the booth as soon as he gets back from getting set up. Bring you to action. Several drivers pulling double duty. Of course, Kenneth McCullough, one of them. He wants to sweep the Friday night races. Richard Elliott just led the most laps in the HGR event, looking to get a better finish than what he got. And several others. Qualifying up next. What in the name of might is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not on my side of things. Well, it appeared that Alabama has suffered a power outage or something or other. So while we await word, really, let's get word. Of course, you get live action tonight of what goes on behind the scenes, but right now under a power outage in Alabama. Forgot that they fail like this. Right now, as we wait, I don't believe drivers. We got to be switching lobbies. While we await word on what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to Richard Elliott for a moment. Richard Elliott, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, bud.
Well, buddy, that's somebody in the comment section says somebody forgot to pay the light bill for either that or Alabama's having a power outage. Disappointment, to say the least, coming off of the HGR event. How do you take that rough night for the second time, led the most laps, not the finish you wanted? Probably didn't deserve neither. You probably deserved a little bit better, but how do you take that and transfer it into the night?
It's just kind of normal. Yeah, I just put it behind me and head on to this one. So it's just seems to happen. I got wiped out last night in pushing Kenneth to a win in the trial. I was pushing him, and we decided to wreck the whole front half of the field. So I don't know. I don't let it bug me. I'm mad in the moment and then move on.
All right, buddy. Is there any word? I mean, I'm sure you can hear. I'm sure you can hear what they're talking about But is there any word on if they're going to switch to lobbies, or what's the word right now?
Yeah, he's putting up another lobby. He
Okay.
said he's going to put it up with 10 minutes practice, and then we'll go.
All right, buddy. Well,
We're
best.
out here messing around with the pace car.
He only got a pair of lights that works apparently right now.
Yeah, we got one left to have fun.
Oh god. Well, too bad we ain't gonna be able to see nothing.
Yeah. His headlights are on.
Yeah, his is on. Nobody else's is. Oh, wait a minute.
We're in front of him.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to
All
you.
right.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Hey. All right, buddy. We'll hopefully talk to you at the end of this thing.
All right, later.
Later, dude. Right now, another lobby is soon going up here soon. So the driver's just messing around right now. That being said, we'll go ahead and back out of this one, and we'll just sit around and wait for the moment. So, a little bit of technical difficulties. I think I'm being joined in the Blue Bummer broadcast part, but he just missed a great power outage.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's got in, it's pitch black.
All right, now we're about to load up to the next one here. I guess Jimmy forgot to pay the tab on the light bill before we left.
I got in, thought I was seeing things. I was like, hold on, my screen thing's supposed to be black.
I saw
What's wrong with my computer?
I saw the light start going out. I went, oh dear. 10-minute practice up ahead. Of course, the SDK will probably have to reload and all that again.
Oh, yeah.
So, bear with us, folks. A little bit of technical issues all the way around here. And we will try to get the overlays back working. I was surprised they made it through the first session. Of course, if you're just tuning in if you missed the first event, Kenneth McCullough Jr. goes back-to-back in HGR. One last night, one tonight. And do you think the possibility of going 2 in a row and sweeping the weekend, or well, not sweeping the weekend, but sweeping Friday night, do you feel like that's a possibility for Kenneth?
Oh, yeah. It's a real good possibility for Kenneth, especially with his teammates he has. That's always on the table.
Real fast for the folks. I'm gonna just close out the overlay, see if they won't just reload properly. Get these lights out of here. All right, come on, baby, please work. Hey, what do you know? Kind of surprised they did that. So to re-rack it here, about 15 drivers on the entry list beforehand. Is there anybody noticeable that you see that can stand out? I think Nathan Harper might go back to victory lane tonight.
I'll tell you, Steve Sizemore, he's been up there. He just ain't got a break. I think Steve might be able to pull one of these off here coming soon. I mean, that bad luck's got to eventually get behind him.
For him and Sean Corbett both. Of course,
Yeah,
Corbett,
Sean for sure.
Of course, Corbett not in here at the moment. Look at that, damn. That's a nice Jimmy Johnson throw. Who's that rolling out? Malik Ray. That's about one of the best Jimmy Johnson throwbacks I've seen in a while.
Matthew Baker just made me a new Gen 6 paint scheme. I ain't loaded up yet. He's making me a truck. They're good-looking cars.
I need somebody to update my paint here. Well, not on here, but I'll race. Occasionally, I'll race for a little while here. Folks, we're pretty much just hanging out until we get down to qualifying. About 4.5 minutes. Don't really see anybody really to pull up here to interview. Are you in the McCullough Motorsports chat on Discord?
No, I went over there and checked. He's got the broadcast booth locked. You need to holler at him and see if he can get it unlocked. That's where we should be, I think.
Let's see here. But you're a member of the Discord regardless, correct?
Yes.
Give me 1 second here. See, why don't I just do it like this? Well, momentarily, we're going to get everything straightened out here. Again, talk to a little bit more John Ward, see if he'll be available for an interview. Look at Malik Ray's car. Ron Morris Jr. on track, so is the 12 of Steve Sizemore. Just talked about him. Give me 1 second. Sizemore officially put the first lap down. So we wait right now for the moment, trying to get stuff situated with Christopher Carter. Nothing else, we'll just hop back over. Well, right now, the Steve Sizemore, the only one that's posted the first lap, 1.5 here to go. After a wild night already, technical issues. If nothing else, we'll just hop into another chat here. see. Well, practice has concluded, and I'll tell you what. Hey, we'll just hang out here in the blind squirrel camp for a little while.
All right, I was down there talking to John, having him reach out to him.
We'll see what he says, but well, hell, well that works out then, down, don't it? Well, I guess you got access to it, so.
Yeah, they can block that. They only allow so many people to get in there so they don't bother you guys. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah, right now I'm looking. I might be interested in a second broadcast partner. Right now, just jumping around, seeing who else wants to jump in.
Oh yeah, no, I know this is all for fun.
Oh yeah. So Steve Simon will be the first one to post a lap. Ron Morse Jr. will be second. Michael Barksdale will be third. Craighead right behind them. So Steve Sizemore is going to be giving us our first lap of the night. So really one lap. What's the preparation trying to get up enough speed to really try to make this one lap count?
You got to come out of that pits full throttle without spinning the tires and keep it as straight and clean as you can. Coming out of the pits up to that cone, you don't want to come up too quick. You want to kind of straddle that yellow line, stay down there, let it naturally drift up to the wall, stay about a half car length off of it, and hold it wide open.
And right now, Steve Sizemore 25.9 through the first half of the track. Down to the bottom, cuts the apron just a little bit. And at the line, Steve Sizemore lap 50.720. Ron Morse. Go ahead.
Not a big fan of cutting that apron. For some of us drivers, it hurts us more than it helps us.
I say I understand more than what you think I do. I've never really been able to try to get that apron to work myself. Michael Barksdale will be up next, about a tenth slower in sector 1 than Steve Sizemore. Does he make it up here at the line? Survey says he does not. P3.
Yeah, we won't see those real fast laps until we get down to the Malik Ray. Casey's not in here. I don't see him in here, so.
Evidently, Casey Sprinkle's not able to join us tonight for round 2. The one of Joe Herrera, Ashley fastest in sector 1 at the line. Does he keep it up? He does. Top of the board. 51.702. And it completely kills the car. I have no idea why somebody want to do that. Michael Wingo slides into 6th. So at this point right now, a little bit of a short field tonight. Who are do you still have a favorite other than Steve Sizemore, or is it pretty much just whoever is able to survive this?
I think it's going to this race should come down to pit stops. I feel I don't see it being too much of a wreck fest. The drivers that's in here, but I know Matt Lee's due for one. John's still itching for that finish that he wants, and Michael Wingo, maybe we'll see him get some luck in this one.
Maybe so. Wingo was fastest in practice. We'll have to see. And for the record, for those of y'all to keep up with iRacing, these are not the new Gen 4 cars that came out. These are the old ones. So pretty much the key factor is you cannot push in these cars. For a fact, well, you can, but you got to be very careful locking the bumpers.
Yes, because you will turn the car in front of you.
Good God.
In a hurry.
So only.
I see Merck's in here. There's a driver that's been due for one also.
Yeah, he finished that. Daniel Falkenham, the last time we were live with MMS, he ended up winning his second in a row on the broadcast, at least.
Daniel's a good driver.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Falkenham can wheel a car.
Of course, what I mean by 2 in a row, these guys, they run what? Almost every night. Sometimes the Racing Network ain't able to get out to every race, so you kind of look at like live events you see in wrestling or something like that.
Right.
So
some of us run maybe 12 of these to sometimes 15 of these a week, believe it or not. Some of these other drivers like Malik and Daniel Falkingham that have the pro side to where they got to focus on that, turn the right amount of laps to stay on the teams. You only see them in the really late evening ones after practice and all that is over.
So of course, I believe the last time I was live to cover MMS, Falkenham ended up going 2 in a row. So as far as being on television, Falkenham could go potentially 3 in a row, television-wise. It's hard to really say. We're going to run through.
Yeah.
We're going to run through the starting grid. And you want to take it away real quick, the Fast 12?
I don't see 12 like you.
Oh, well. I'll go run through it then.
I got it now.
Oh, okay. Well, the floor is yours.
Yep. On the front row, we have Mr. Joe Herda. On the outside, Steve Sizemore. Kenny Reel is in the inside row in third, and my buddy Ron Morse Jr. on the outside in fourth. In fifth is Michaels Barksdale, and in sixth is Cameron Craighead on the outside. Seventh is Michael Wingo. Eighth is Daniel Falkingham, the E-Coke driver. Ninth is Malik Ray, also E-Coke driver. 10th is Nathan Harper. A really good buddy of mine, Jeff Merck, is in 11th, and 12th is Richard Elliott.
Going down through the field here a little bit more. John Ward running off 13th. Joshua McCullough in 14th. Chris, are you running this one, or are you up here in the booth with me? I know you're doing both.
I'm in the booth with you.
All right, so Kenneth McCullough roll off 15th. William H. Scott Jr. in 16th. Joey Allen 18th. Bobby Ratchell in the 20th spot, and Matthew Lee will round out the field in the 20th spot. I believe Bobby will get moved up 19th.
That's a driver with a survival plan right there, Mr. Matt Lee.
And it pays off well for him. Of course, last week won an HGR race last week off of that very strategy.
You know, I first met Matt Lee over 5 years ago in these money races, Jim.
Yeah, I saw an earlier broadcast. A lot of drivers that I see up here have been doing this a lot longer than I give them credit for. Steve Sizemore, one of them, running off second, as we've mentioned, long overdue, trying to break the winless streak, at least on the broadcasts, on here at least. He's probably won 3 or 4 already today, just ain't been broadcasted. So right now, as we're setting up to go to green here, what are you personally thinking in the cockpit, getting ready to go green here?
I think these guys, with this field we have, I think that they should probably just settle in. Really nothing to jockey for yet or try to prove. So at this point, you just try to get down there in the bottom or maybe ride on the high side and just maintain about an 80 throttle, 80% throttle, 90% throttle sometimes to keep up, and you just relax. Let the race play out.
Was your Herda? Steve Sizemore brings us down to the inside. Chris, appreciate you being up here to call this one. Been a hell of a night. Let's get 52 more laps in as a very... What in the world's going on here?
Delayed green.
Ah.
It's not somebody wasn't lined up or didn't make it out of the pits, and they're going to give him a chance to maybe get out of the pits. Maybe do we have a car on pit road?
Josh McCullough was on pit road when we first started rolling. I think they're rolling now, though.
There we go. Yeah, they give him a chance to get out of the pits there, so he didn't go down a lap right from the beginning.
Well, now they worked down the back straightaway, getting up to speed. Sizemore trying to put that outside line. He's got the 7.6 of Ron Morris Jr. behind him. On the bottom, Joe Herta really getting a great push by, I believe that's the 3 of Kenny Reels. You know, it has an 18 on the side of it. Very confusing sometimes. Down in front.
Yeah, it will jumble up.
Jump up quick. See it already trying to go 3 wide at the moment. Joe Herta at the line. He will lead lap 1 of the MMS Money Racing Series for Talladega. And already has set the fastest lap at 1:17. What a lap.
Yeah, I see Ward right there in the middle. He probably isn't going to play around with this one too much. He's going to try to stay to the front throughout this race is what I would imagine.
And very surprising being that John Ward has said on a couple of occasions he's one just right in the back, not really trying to get up there in the scrum. Oh, there we go! John Ward would just mention it. Good God, that's the whole field. All right, to involve heavy damage.
And I'm pretty sure it's 0 fast repairs in here, so that might have potentially just took out a few drivers.
Let me look. I think on the flyer it said a fast repair. Yeah, 1 fast repair. But for a lot
All right,
of
so
drivers,
they have 1 save.
Let's go ahead and re-look at it. I know I'm going to go with John Ward because I know he was involved in it. Not saying he caused it, but just because he's the only one. What in the world is going on? Okay, there we go. So it's actually going, I believe it's going to start up here with the 58 of Cameron Craighead. Or one of these drivers going to get turned. Oh, maybe a bit of net code?
I don't know. Rewind that right there. I think the driver may have actually washed down
Well, let's see.
and created maybe net code.
Who is that car right by? We'll go on. All right, tell you what, we'll go on board with Cameron here. Well, we'll get as far as Chase Cameron. We'll be able to see real good. So 60 of Merritt.
Oh, yeah. He went down. He went down, realized it, yanked it back, checked up, and just stacked them up there.
Unfortunately, right on lap 1. And takes out, well, it doesn't technically take out heavy hitters early, but definitely has to use a fast repair.
It's almost like he was thinking about going underneath him there and then decided not to from that jerk of the wheel. That made no sense why he had that sudden jerk.
See if we can't get one more look at it from his angle, but I can do you better. We'll go straight to the cockpit. Of course, my FOV ain't as good as what others are, but
Yeah, I seen a sudden jerk of the wheel. Go back a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Let's see right here. Right here. Sudden jerk of the wheel. See that?
looks like he's got some offset in the wheel.
And then he went to go 3 wide, and he realized he was making a mistake, and it was too late.
Good God, that's violent.
That's where that patience comes in, Jim Bob.
Well, unfortunately, it takes out, what, half the field already?
It took out a lot of good drivers.
At the end of it, Kenny Rio does come out. Joe Herta comes out on point. Jeff Merritt took a fast repair. Justin Allens took a fast repair right now. And the only driver is Matthew Lee, just rolling back out onto the track. John Ward, you saw him involved in it. Really hard to see if he's got any damage stuff. Hard to see that right.
You even touch fenders in these cars, and you're 4X. So fast repairs are necessary.
Malik Ray. Great Jimmy Johnson throwback. You did see Richard Elliott, massive damage to Elliott. Hey, look at the whole front end. That car's completely watered up. We can actually get right at the front here. That's one of my favorite paint jobs too. Josh from McCullough rolling out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think 200 mile per hour tape's going to help any of these cars in that wreck.
Yeah, I don't know. Fast repair needed. I think Richard Elliott's a lap. The day he had it towed back, that's why he's sitting there. Several drivers coming back in.
Too bad it's not like Formula One or Indy. You just come in and take the nose off, put a new one on, right, Jim?
I swear. Made my life so much easier. See Josh Kenneth McCullough back in. But not how a lot of drivers wanted to start this one under caution on lap 1. Or lap 2, I should say, for a multi-car incident. And really, how do you settle down your nerves after something like that?
For me right now, in certain discords, us veterans would be saying, hey, if anybody can reach out to that guy, tell him to settle down. It's still early in the race. We've got a lot of laps to turn, some gas, fuel to save, some tires to save, and let's just turn some of these laps and then battle it out at the end.
Richard Elliott, black flag at the moment, unclear if that is because that they're deeming him the cause of the caution or if he was too fast exiting the pits. We'll have to see here.
I mean, Jim Bob, to tell the truth, the more green laps you turn, and some of these new drivers that come in, and some of them are still learning right now, the more green laps you can turn just by following the drivers in front of you that have been doing this for a while, the quicker you learn. Now, you might have to get better at the pit stops or be connected with somebody in Discord that's going to help you with those pit stops, but patience is always the best outcome for a 52-lap race or a 60-lap race or races like those with a lot of laps in them. You just want to wind them down and let's get through it.
And of course, still a long way to go. 48 to go. We're going to be making it 47 when we come to the line. The top 5: Joe Herta, Steve Sizemore, Cameron Craighead, Kenny Reel, and Nathan Harper. Actually, I believe it was Nathan Harper that won the last time we were live here. It's hard to say who it was. I can't remember that far back. I can't remember what I did yesterday other than work.
There's so much in that code you can't keep up with it.
Yeah. We're rolling. Simon Brand down. Herta did not get a great jump at all. Now, the thing is, how great, we see it in the trucks, we saw it in the Gen 6 earlier. How great is the run with these cars coming off of 2, and what can the leader like Sizemore anticipate coming off of turn 2 and turn 4?
Well, if that top line just stays consistent right here and pushes with the air as much as maybe the second guy in the outside line with the bumper, it's easy to overtake the leaders in these things.
So
the outside line works the best for these cars.
So pretty much what you're saying is no matter what car we go in, the outside lane's just the best car to be in.
To get the lead, you got to be in the second or third lane. You just have to be up there. You're not getting the lead from the bottom. And what I mean by that, by switching to the middle lane, unless the outside lane is conservative. You're just not doing it. You're not beating the middle lane.
Right now, as you say, it's funny that you mentioned the third lane. Joshua McCullough and Joseph Allen up in that third lane trying to make something happen. 3x3 down the back straightaway. Herta in the middle getting pushed by the 58 of Cameron. And I believe that would be a 4. Joshua not Joshua Barksdale, but Michael Barksdale in the middle. Are you surprised?
Yeah, it looks like these guys are just wanting to race tonight.
Yeah.
They're not worried about the fuel stops or anything like that. Let's race, boys.
They put on a hell of a broadcast. 3x3x3. Gonna be 45 to go at the line. Kenny Reel looking to lead his second lap of the night. He is barely able to do it. No, Joe Herta got him right at the line, apparently.
Yeah, that second line is a beast. You just can't beat it when it gets its run.
You see one up there that would be Mark still up in the wall a little bit. John Ward in the middle trying to make something happen.
I mean, you can see it right now. The middle lane's still gaining on that bottom line, and they only got 2 cars.
It's amazing, but I do want to ask you, the Achilles heel to the middle lane is they give up enough on entry that they can open a door for somebody to do lane control. Why exactly is it? Is it just because the bottom lane's a shorter way around, or is it just that they scrub off speed going into entry?
If you're going to be a leader in these cars at this track, you've got to be a driver to know how long you've been in front of that car behind you pushing you, and you need to switch lanes. It's not a scrub thing. That's when you got to move thing.
So right now, drivers on the move will look from the last caution here. Joseph Allen, Joey Allen. I'm seeing 2 different names, but either way, the driver to 56. We'll go with Joseph Allen up 11 spots from where he started. Matthew Lee up 9 and Jeff Murray up 6. They are your biggest movers of the race since the start of it. Funny to see that, being that Jeff Murray was just involved in the first caution.
The majority of these drivers in the back here right now, they're just keeping it safe about 8th on back. That's what I'd be doing, just trying to conserve, ride in the air, let those guys race it out up front. You see the lane change right there. He's been down on the bottom too long. Got to let that car breathe so you don't blow him up.
So pretty much they jump up to that outside lane, or they jump down to the bottom merely as a courtesy, so the driver behind them does not blow their motor. It's more of a courtesy thing, really.
Yes, you only get so many laps in these cars, or any car, to have your water temp go to red, and you will run out of those, and you can't use those at the end when it counts for the last 2-3 laps, because you already used it up so much that you will blow the motor, even though it don't go red at the end. You will blow the motor because you already used those 3.
So at what point does drivers tend to believe that, well, I need to go ahead and jump out of line, or I need to go ahead and fall back? You see a little bit 3 wide for the lead. As a matter of fact, hold that thought. It's getting real now, being very, very defensive on the bottom. Joe Hurd now forced out to the middle.
Well, this is the outcome of trying to not really control the lines, but conserve the temps. For the drivers that are in the front, what you do is you cause a little bit of a slow up, and it gives the third line a chance to take advantage of that if they're grouped up, and they can send each other to the front, just like right there where you see.
You got to expect Cameron really wanted to get down to that bottom lane. Unfortunately, not able to get there. Can't real occupies that spot. John Ward trying to pull that middle lane. He'll fade back down to the bottom of the track. And right now, are you surprised to see the 3 wide action? I mean, I understand you said they're just looking to race, but are you a bit surprised?
I mean, these guys, they're racing it out. I'm a bit surprised they're going at it so hard, but it does. Sometimes you find yourself in these races where everybody just wants to go hard, so you got to go hard with them, or you'll just be left behind.
Of course, right now, 13 viewers taking time out there Friday night to watch some MMS Money Racing Series action. For the chat section, if there's anybody you want to shout out your favorite driver, even be bold and predict an early race winner, you can do it in the chat section. John Darnell has just joined us after a great debut in the HGR race. We got a size more. Pulling for Steve Sizemore, one of their kin or something.
I look forward here soon, trying to jockey to the bottom. And the ones that have been conserving the fuel, they might end up going 1 lap more, so they don't have to go down with so many cars on this coming up pit stop.
Now you got to think about it, like somebody like, and granted, the driver I'm about to bring up is actually running back in the 17th, 16th spot, but one driver that's known to do that, Daniel Falkenham. As a matter of fact, it's what's got him 2 of his wins on the Raging Idiot Racing Network by just staying out and avoiding that massive pack that comes in. And really, what really contributes to a wreck that we would see like 9 or 10 cars come in and somebody just underestimates the braking, or like what all factors into an incident like that? What's better and about what's the best way just to avoid it?
Well, I mean, what Falkenham and Malik Ray's doing right now doesn't surprise me. When you get they realize this is a pretty aggressive race and has been from the green flag. So the best thing to do is stay back here, conserve the fuel. They're not worried about getting in the pits and out of the pits. We're talking about 2 Coke drivers. They're really good at it. They're probably one of the best in here. So for them to be back there doesn't surprise me. They're just back there saving their temps, saving their fuel, and they'll have the late run when they need it.
Of course, you talk about temperature. You said earlier, even though you flirt with the red so much early in the race that does not even have to go red to really have to blow up. So for those of you thinking this is just a game, there's a little bit more to it than just a video game. They do everything they can to make it realistic. I'm waiting for they to come up with an update that your power steering automatically goes down on the road course.
Just like all racing, it doesn't matter if you're racing an RC car, if you're racing a go-kart or a lawnmower or a helicopter. It don't matter. There's a strategy to every type of racing. I once had a great race car driver tell me one time, and his name was Rico Abre, ended up telling me, he said, Chris, because I told him I raced compacts at the time, and that was in 2015, and he said, Chris, he said, it doesn't matter what you're driving. Racing's racing.
Now, about how much of it comes down to skill, how much is skill and how much is the mental aspect, strategizing, preparing, trying to get to the end of these races, about how much does it go into having the skill and having the smarts to try to really make it to the end of these races.
I always go back to patience. Patience is always first, and it doesn't matter what you're racing. You know your skill, you know your ability, just like Daniel Falkenham and Malik Ray right now back here conserving their temps, conserving their fuel, and their tires, so they can get off the pit road a little bit quicker when they take their left sides or if they choose to take the right sides. It always ends back up to one thing. If you would have been a little bit more patient, then what would have happened?
Of course, I had to ask myself a lot, especially because I race late models, always about saving tire and the times I use too much. It all goes back to the patience game. You're right on board with Daniel Falkenham right now, running 16th, and really we can pull up this little thing here on the side and see how how fast he's going, what gear is he in. It's right now, damn, 202 mile an hour down the straightaway. But do you hear anything abnormal that's saying that he's trying to conserve tires? Just listen to the throttle.
Malik, the ones in the back right now, all of them in the back, probably the last 7 cars, have already pretty much made up their mind in this long run right here that they're more likely going to pit together. Those leaders up there, they're already going, what do we do at this point? Do we pit on this lap, or do we try to just start saving a little bit and give up the pit or the positions on the track? But it's already too late for them. There's no way they can conserve enough to run with these guys in the back. So they got to make sure they can do a perfect pit stop.
As a mission that we'll look at the pit strategy thing, and everybody else pretty much on the same accord whenever they were last under caution. Some drivers on like 15 lap stint, some double pitted to make it 14, give them that extra lap. But as you said, really the extra lap doesn't mean nothing if you've been up here at the front the majority of the time racing it out.
Yes, because if you're in the front, you're in the front 4, you're wide open to stay up there most of the time, or you wouldn't be up there. So, like I said earlier, look where they're at. They're all on the bottom. Now they're starting to jockey because we're coming up to the pit stops. Position to get in the pits is crucial now.
Joseph Allen, what a save by that Bojangles number 56. Good God almighty. That was one of the arrests that should have happened. Now they're getting clustered. Sizemore close to apron. McCullough. Oh, there they go.
Here we go.
Well, you can forget the green flag pit stops coming up.
Well, now I can tell you this. The cars that will make it out, if they want to be, they will make it out of pit road in the front. Why? Because they probably got about 2.5 to 3 laps more fuel. They'll be off pit road a lot quicker.
Kenneth McCullough, you look at him on the apron. Both the McCulloughs were involved in that. Kenneth went to the grass. The pole sitter, Joe Herta. A massive hit. We'll have to see what happens. Look at the Ford Chase cam for starters.
And it goes right back to paces, Jim Bob. Them drivers riding in the back, just turning some laps, letting them run down. They weren't involved in that wreck, and guess what? They got a tank that's got more fuel.
Well, that right there looks like just, well, he saw Sizemore get on the apron a little bit, maybe checking him up, and I believe the one looking at it, he sees McCullough checking up, so he's going to check up a little bit earlier, but unfortunately Nathan Harper does not get the message or whatever the case may be, and they both go right up. Harper on his side. You're the race car driver through. You've been through this more than I have. What do you see right here with this whole incident coming down the back straightaway?
Seeing the smoke off the wall, I'd probably already backed out of the gas a little bit. I wouldn't be worried about trying to keep up with the pack too much because I know that this is getting ready to come. Right here, the checkup. And that's what that did. The guys in the back got wrecked because the guys in the front did what they did, and it reverberated when the guy that couldn't see no longer didn't check up.
You're right about one thing. Everybody is coming to pit road. Steve Sizemore's down in, and do you question what damage there is as Jeff Merritt wins the race off the pit road? Do you question a little bit of contact, more or less from, I don't know, I forgot now, but more or less just from like somebody like the 05 of, that's what I'm trying to think. 05, just, a little bit of contact on the rear, but just went through the grass. Do you worry about that with these cars and how light these bodies are, how easily they are to get damaged, even if it's just a ride through the grass? Does coming off the apron affect the cars any?
Oh yeah, to even touch a bumper or a fender in these things is crucial. I mean, that's anywhere from a 2X to a 12X, and you might be driving all of a sudden just thinking, asking your fellow driver to look at your car, how bad is the damage? Well, it don't look that bad, but these cars, if you bend the lettering on the right side a little too much and it flaps in the wind, it's enough to slow you down. These are the most sensitive bodies probably in racing back when they were racing full time.
Yeah, so much as a little kiss in the wall with a death sentence as far as the tire goes.
Well, as you as an ex-late model driver, we went from running steel bars in the 80s and the 90s, and midway through the 90s we switched to what? Aluminum front bumpers under the bumper covers, aluminum rear bumpers. We started just bolting them on with a couple bolts so they would shear off so it wouldn't bend the clip. These cars were built the same way. They were built to be light, but not durable.
How about that fake by John Ward? Jeff Merritt comes in. Couple people up here, and got some people up here in the comment section. He Job is in the house. Casey, unfortunately, not able to run with us tonight, but he is in the comment section. Miss Lisa's in here. So yeah, we got pretty much of a sold out crowd tonight. Somewhat.
Jim, we were at a race one time in 1995. My brother had Fast Time. It was Shady Bowl Speedway. It's like a little Bristol. It's embanked asphalt track, late models, fast cars. You know what I'm saying? He started 17th with the inversion, and they didn't even make it across the start-finish line. And every car in front of him piled up, and he barely tapped the wall. And he come to the pits to get it fixed. And you know what we had to tell him? Gary, get out of the car. Your right front set beside you on the inside the car. And he's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Some cars are built tough. Some cars are built to be fast.
Nathan Harper, black flag. I believe that is from race control over the incident. Of course, I ain't got no way to really confirm that, but I'm assuming being that Harper was the one that got into the back of Herta to trigger that whole incident, that's how race controls deemed it. And ultimately, and I will ask you this, would Nathan Harper have known the checkup was coming? Or like, what would, like, just from that situation alone, because I know in some of these cars, the driver can only see the car that they're pushing in front. They don't really see the checkup as much, so is there really something Harper could have done different, you feel like, or could have possibly known that the checkup was coming?
I mean, not really. I'm one of the drivers that in a race like this, I'd be at the back too. Unfortunately, if you're still running close enough and you can't see through the car in front of you, when the checkup comes, there's no way to avoid that. It's impossible at that point.
Kenny Real, John Ward brings us down. Going to be 29 to go whenever they take the green into the United Rentals restart zone. We are rolling. And to have all eyes with 30 to go, we still potentially expect another pit stop. Man, not a great jump by the third lane at all. And sometimes I wonder, the jump, do they lay back on the start, just try to get a great run like they're about to get right now? Or is it just hard to time when the leader goes in the restart zone?
I think at this point it's for safety, to be honest with you.
A little bit of action back there for about the fifth spot. 76 jumps up. That'll be Ron Morris Jr. trying to get a pull from the outside lane. John Ward only one lap tonight. Is it Ward's night to get interviewed in the winner's circle? We'll have to find out in 28 more laps.
We'll see if they have the patience.
Ward down to the bottom. He'll bring the 58 of Craighead with him. Sizemore working up the outside lane now. It really, I'm assuming these are fixed setups, but is there a certain driver you would prefer pulling the lane that you're in, or can anybody pretty much just pull the same line?
Some drivers that run in here they have the know-how, and if you're not discord with them, you got to queue up and you got to say checking up, you know what I'm saying, so they know. So, according to which drivers around you.
So what does it take to really pull a line? You see Ward jump back up to the top side to try to pull Simon. What does it take to really pull a line the proper way to make it effective?
Have a driver behind you can push you and suck up to that car on the inside. That's what it takes to get to the front of these things.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned sucking up, because that's been about a couple weeks ago. There was an HGR race, and I believe it was Garrett Caswell said that his truck was having a hard time sucking up to the rear bumper. Now, is that just because there's like, I don't want to try to make this sound not as silly as possible, but there's almost like a little invisible air bubble between the bumpers of the cars? Does it take two or more cars to break that bubble? Perhaps that's why some of these drivers cannot suck up?
Yes. I was in a couple of those races when they did that update. If you didn't stay sucked up, and if you don't stay sucked up now in that same truck, I mean, when I mean sucked up, I mean within the car length, the car and a half. The dirty air that comes out of the front to the back, for some reason it just falls down in front of that truck, and it will drag you all the way out of the draft. You have to be vigilant with driving those things now, because you will lose the draft. You may think you're keeping up, but you're not.
See, Kenny Real jumps up to the outside lane, wants to lead back. John Ward's led 3 laps so far tonight. Kenny Real's actually led the most at 7 tonight. 26 to go. Do you have any favorites at the moment you want to potentially make a pre-race prediction there, Chris?
Well, you know, I already said it at the beginning. Old Merck's been itching for one. Old Merck has. You got Wingo that's still in here. He still survived it. I heard them yelling at him in the chat, talking about he needs to push. Michael Wingo at this point ain't pushing nothing because he's trying to survive this.
We're right now. Wingo running in the 8th spot. For right now, I mean, it changes every lap, so really, he can be running one place, then be somewhere else completely. Jeff Murray now battling right outside of the top 10 and 11th.
Well, I will tell you this, Jim Bob, and most people don't know this that watch what we do. You will be driving your car, but so will another guy that is wanting to do something or make a move, and he'll come over the comms and try to tell you what you need to do in order for him to get what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And of course, it really doesn't drive great when somebody does got your wheels lifted up off the ground. You see Josh McCullough loose off a 4 way back near the American car, but right now, focus up front. See the outside lanes very deteriorated. Now everybody's going to the bottom, perhaps thinking about a green flag pit stop coming up. But right now, as I said, a couple more to try to jump up to the outside lane, try to help it out. Right now, biggest movers again since the start of this race. John Ward up 11, Kenneth McCullough Jr. Christopher's finally worked himself into the picture after getting involved in the last caution and hanging out in the back, up 12 spots where he started. The AAA to Bobby up 13, Joseph Allen up 10. Are these guys that hang out in the back, slowly working their way back up to the front?
Maybe for this next pit stop, I'm watching it. Buckingham's still in 14th. Still got Merck back here in 11th. It's according to how crazy they get up here to jockey for these pit stop. But just watch the back. Watch the back of this field, because those are going to be the guys back here together that are going to probably more than likely at the end of this race make the race move.
Of course, that would persist of Joe Murdoch, Daniel Falkenham, Matthew Lee, Malik Ray, Richard Elliott, just to name a few back there. Nathan Harper just went one lap down after having a service drive-through penalty. So evidently the 7 did get the black flag for the cause of caution. So with 22 to go, I should pull up the pit strategy link one more time here.
What? I have a feeling that the last 7 to 8 cars that's at the back, at the bottom, just riding this out, are going to be the ones to race it out at the end, unless these guys in the front can get in the pit stops and get out together. Their race is over.
And of course, the wild card comes in this. Can they make it on the pit road without there being a caution, without there being a multi-car incident, or even worse, speeding?
Or just enough to slow them up and they lose 3 or 4 of each other. And then that front pack is the back pack.
See Jonathan McCullough stuck on there on the outside. Nobody chose to go with him. Now Morris Jr. will jump up to that 3rd lane, try to push McCullough. And McCullough, one of them, not scared to really go up there and challenge on that 3rd lane.
Well, I mean, if you're not trying to make this a fuel race, which they're not trying to do in the front, that's why they're getting racy here. All you got is to race it out. The guys in the back are just going to keep trying to survive and keep it. When they decide, they got the last 8 guys in the back right here. If they decide to go to the front and a caution comes out, that's where they'll be. They'll have to take 2 gallons less fuel. They'll be right up there.
Right now, still 3 by 3. It's amazing how 2 cars on that outside lane can really be able to hold a candle to the driver that's in the middle of the bottom lane. And really, with 20 to go.
Oh, that was close.
Good God almighty. I don't think that. I mean, they might get to a green flag pit stop, but it ain't gonna stay green for very long. You see, it looks like I kind of spooked a couple and they immediately fell back in line to go in 2 by 2.
That's what them guys in the back are hoping for right here. Because with the laps winding down, they already know anytime they want to be, if this caution comes out, they're going to be up front. They're getting off pit road first. The only choice the front cars would have that didn't get caught in the caution would not take no tires, fuel only, and get out, which would be a mistake.
You would think, I mean, you take a lot of the handling aspect when we go to Daytona or in Talladega. You wouldn't think that tires would be that very big of a deal, but with these type of cars, I mean, they pushing what, 900 horsepower?
They got these things glued to the ground. These shocks are so bound up that it's using every bit of the rubber it can just to stay stable. That's the only way you're going to handle these cars.
As the run goes down, what are drivers experiencing the older these tires get? Is it more looseness and tightness with the downforce how it is?
Yes, and if a wreck does happen, you have virtually no control over the steering wheel anymore. You lock the brakes up, makes it worse. So if you can't drive through it without locking the brakes up, you're done. You're going to lose control of it. There's no downforce on these things. It's all shocks and chassis.
Really adds to a whole new perspective. And of course, in some cases, just take it from experience. Some of these steering wheels that these guys buy, it just pretty much best just let go of it. Just let go of the wheel and just wait for you to
Hope
quit
for the
spinning.
best.
Like you do it wheel in real life. Just let go of the wheel, because I've had an
Hope
experience
for the
with
best.
mine. I've had an experience with mine where mine actually about pretty much sprained my wrist. Had to wear a brace for about a
And
week.
Bob, I know you've seen it. I always swore up and down in my lifetime I'd never see a car win without a body on short track racing or even on the half mile. But I witnessed many a cars win races without even a fender on the car, a front fender. Why? Because they're chassis cars. The body's just for look.
Right now, the driver looking strong right now. But really, you can take two or three drivers. John Ward and Kenny Real, one of them. Michael Wingo trying to work himself into a position here. And I'm trying to determine if Wingo's at 97. I got a 98 on my screen up here. I believe he is. As a matter of fact, he is. Michael Wingo pulling that line on the outside, only consists of about 3 cars as Ward and Real drop back down to the bottom. Well, there's Wingo. But one's got to ask, is finally tonight, Michael Wingo breaks through with 15 to go.
Well, I know I still see Lee and Falkingham and Ray and all them in the back. Just here's the pit stops. Look at that. Look at that coming in hot.
And by design, and surprisingly, they do not wait. They normally wait to be the last ones in, but perhaps a little bit of a strategy game being played at the moment.
I foresee they actually had a pretty good pit entry right there. We might get about 4 or 5 of these cars leaving at the same time. All of them are leaving at the same time.
Right now, this will be the race. Now, the next step is try to get lined back up before this next pack catches you, unless they go in this time. And here they come. Oh, there they go!
Oh, there it is.
God
there
almighty.
There
Michael
it is. Oh,
Wingo's
my God,
involved.
he's dead.
Joshua McCullough spinning. No caution. We keep it straight, but Michael Wingo's night's done.
Yeah, he's toast on that one. And that actually slowed them up enough to where the advantage of saving the fuel just went out the window, because this lead pack right here will come around before they get off of pit road.
There's the lead pack right now, lined up, single file. We'll have to go back and look at what happened here in a bit, but we are going to see where they lined up compared. We'll pull up the track map, as a matter of fact. But right now, you see via positions how they run, so really you see P2, but pretty much you're about to see how flustered they get.
Oh, they're going to have a big run on them right here. If they keep it going and they don't get blocked at all, they're going to do a flyby right here.
Right now, here they come, just as you said. Led by Joe Herta on the outside lane. Look at Kenny Real trying to go up and block. This is getting very dicey here. 3 wide.
There they all go.
Joe Herta has not led since early in this race, only led 6 laps, led for the moment, but now Jeff Murray back out front with Daniel Falkenham up to second. Real fast before they wreck again. We'll go back and look at the incident coming on the pit road. I'm pretty sure coming off of 4, Ward's already to the inside, and yeah, missed.
Yeah, Wingo didn't get off that racing surface fast enough. When he come off that corner, he should have already been down way below John Ward at that point. He hesitated, and John had nothing to do except stay in the throttle at that point.
Michael Wingo is back on track, having to use his one fast repair. Still in the lead lap, but all by himself. So unless there's a caution.
Oh, it's a race now.
At one point, the drivers start taking more than giving. Didn't it go?
The giving's over.
Don't expect some of these drivers will be getting Christmas cards after tonight. Just depends. We'll see. How about Daniel Falkenham has not led a lap all night and now up here.
John just said, let the right side tires by. Like I said, save them fuel, give them the upper hand, give them new rubbers.
Still amazing they can able to go 3x3. Falkenham leading. Believe it or not, Daniel Falkenham has not led a lap officially. Even this last lap, he'll jump up to the middle to cover Mert. At what point, what lane do you feel like you want to be in? Coming at 10 to go. If you had to pick between the 3.
If I was up towards the front with these guys right now, I'd want to be all the way probably at the bottom. I would not want to be in the middle in the 3rd lane because when that wreck happens, you're done.
Right now, Falkenham comes to the oval at the line. Side by side with Herta. Falkenham will officially lead his first lap for the race tonight. And really, I'm surprised though that pit stops went. I mean, it did not go smooth for Michael Wingo, but I'm surprised that they went better than what they could have, especially for Joshua McCullough, who had to take the evasive action that 05 Wonder Bread.
Yeah, they got in and out pretty good. I was expecting more lagging of drivers coming off the pit road on both pit stops for both packs. I just didn't see them getting off there together, but they did.
Kenny Rio got to dry. He'll go all the way from the top 5 down to about the 12th or 13th spot at the line. That'll put him. Let's see, it'll put him 10th. Is there still time?
Now imagine some of these drivers didn't take what you would say enough fuel, so they're still having to save a little bit here, so they come out a little light.
That'd be bad if you got set up for an overtime. If I'm not mistaken, this league they only do, I believe it's just, they might, I know there's one league they do one overtime. I can't remember if it's this one or another one. I'm trying to remember.
This one I'm pretty sure is 3.
See if it's it's not in the flyer. We'll just have to see. Hopefully there won't be an overtime. So at 8 to go, the intensity's starting to pick up.
And look where Jeff Merck is, right there in the middle of the line.
And pushing Falkenham right behind him. I believe that is the. I'm trying to figure out who's in that 48 Lodestar. Right in between Matthew Lee. About Steve Sizemore trying to work himself back up into the mix. Sizemore led 3 laps earlier, but ever since then it's kind of just been hanging out around the top 5, top 10.
Yeah, they left their patience on that last pit stop. There it is.
Oh, there they go.
There it is.
Sizemore got a piece of it. Matthew Lee, Ron Morse Jr.
Now it's a new race because the drivers that's at least 7th on back, they don't need no fuel, but those 4 freshie rubbers will make a difference. The top 5, if they pit here, they already know that they're giving up the spots that matter.
Well, we're going to see real fast. I don't know why I won't just hit play and quit backing up all the way. Now we got to go forward here. Here we go. We'll make a quick one here so we can see if the leaders do pit. 18, Kenny Reel comes off the wall. And kind of hard to say if that starts the whole thing, but 76 definitely. He's definitely.
Well, I'll tell you this. There went all that pit strategy. Oh yeah, he was wiggling.
76 is trying to keep a hold of it. Matthew Lee, he just about got it straightened out. Still a little wiggle, and just ran out of room. Steve Sizemore at the 48, able to keep control of it. Sizemore just an innocent bystander, but
at that kind of speed, that makes it look like every driver should have been able to miss all that. But in real time, that reaction time isn't there.
Like you said, let's actually go on more real time.
Yeah, that reaction time isn't there. You can't go from running 180 mile per hour down to 150 and expect to miss anything in front of you.
Pretty much a hell of a save by everybody. I don't think nobody completely went around. The drivers on pit road right now as we stand. Steve Sizemore, Ron Morris, Richard Elliott, Joseph Allen, Matthew Lee are the ones on pit road. Really, I do not believe that was really. I know that was part of that guys in that front pack, but I do not think they were that top 5, top 10 scenario.
Well, I'm still seeing all those backpack drivers that were conservative. They're still up front right now. But we'll see who took tires. Anybody take tires yet or anything like that?
Unfortunately, I do not have that information, but I can figure out a way to decipher it. So let's see. Do not believe it's updated yet at the moment. Let's see. Ward stood 3. Who was just in? What did I say? Richard Elliott, one of them. Yeah, it is not updated yet officially. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, this should not force an overtime. Mark Vondale says we'll get 3. That they get 3 green, white checkered attempts. So now you'd say that the strategy game throws out, but if we go to 3 attempts, who has saved enough for 3 green, white checkers? I like to put enough in there whenever I'm either racing or crew chiefing and spotting a driver. I like to put a little extra more in there just for the green, white checkers.
Well, if it says to take 5-1, you always go up 1 click for that extra green, white checker. Some drivers choose not to, and they'll bet against the game, and those will be the ones that won't make it.
Of course, we'll have to see here. I believe this is the one to go.
But as a driver, I can tell you, Daniel Falkingham and Malik Ray, with these cautions coming out, they're probably in their minds going, should we be up here right now? It's just a little too soon, because we may be the next one at this point.
Well, of course, at some point, the driver has to know that the gloves are coming off. It's every man for himself at some point. Right on board with both them drivers. Malik Ray is that 48. Oh, I just mentioned how great his paint job was during the practice, and I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Ain't that sad?
Well, I can tell you this. Me as an ex-McAuliffe driver, because I used to be their teammates, Christopher's and Kenneth's, not Joshua's. Me and Christopher and Kenneth used to ride around the back and go to the front together. We didn't need nobody. It was us three. And sometimes we'd go a little too early, and all three of us would be out of the race.
Well, in your mind, what is like 5 to go potentially setting up? How do you know that there isn't going to be overtime, or it's just something you gamble with? You go to the front, maybe we won't wreck. Or you go to the front, and then there's an overtime. Like, is there a way to tell when the right time is to be up there?
I mean, the way I see it, Malik Ray and Daniel Falkenham played it out exactly the way they should have. And they got lucky that put them up there for the chance to get the race win. Now, from here on out, no. They're thinking in their mind, we just got to try to survive this at this point because it's every man for himself.
Bring them down. John Ward, Cameron Craighead will be 4 to go whenever they take the green into United Rentals restart zone. Grab the ratchet straps, ratchet the TV down, and whatever you do not hit that dial. So Chris, I feel like it's about to kick in.
We may have a great finish right here.
Cameron Craig had a great jump along with Ward. Bottom lane for the moment. Working. Is this the point where you're going to see Ward try to work the lane control? They're already trying to go 3 wide. Steve Sizemore way up the track, trying to make that third lane work with Matthew Lee. Oh! And there they go. Falkenham's in it. See Falkenham involved in it.
Like I said, every man for himself.
Well, Joshua McCullough, he tried to keep on to it. Massive damage to the 05. It has been a rough night for that Wonder Bread Chevrolet.
What was that I said earlier about Patience Jim Bob? It went out the window. Now we're racing.
Man, just looking at that left front on McCullough, ain't no telling what all was broke underneath that car. Well,
if he don't have a fast repair, he ain't finishing this one.
He does. He's not out of it yet. Let's see what happens. Middle 3 wide. Looks like 60 maybe came
I'm listening to Chad on the other side, Jim Bob. There's a lot of talk going on. I can tell you that.
Oh, good Lord. Who are they mad with?
I ain't gonna put out no names, but there's some payback coming.
Oh, good Lord. Well, let's look at here and look at slow-mo, try to dissect what happened. I think the 60 might come down, or Malik Ray gives a bump or something at the same time. Here's 60 coming down.
That side draft. Remember I was telling you about that side draft?
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. Look at that.
60 comes down to the 48. Man, Kenneth McCullough got lucky he didn't get took out in this, but see, 05 to a tank slapper. From there on, McCullough does get a little bit of damage. His son, on the other hand.
I'll tell you, when somebody side drafted me really hard like that, I want them to be up beside me so I can just tweak the wheel a little bit to the right. And it upsets them and not upsets me. But if they're on the recorder panel, you can't make a move. You just got to hold steady and get through it.
I should go on board with Steve Sizemore through this, because he'll have a great, it'll be a great shot here. Roll the foot. Off the gas. Woo!
Boy, he's surviving this one, isn't he?
And back gets took out again, getting stuck 3 wide.
Steve Sizemore said, I've had enough of this. I bet you I'll stay in it.
Let's see if Kenneth McCullough Jr. can give us his angle of things.
Sweet Jesus, that thing was wiggling, wasn't it?
I swear.
We all run at 210 on the wheelbase settings, but even 210 don't save that.
You want to see? Let's actually see how hard he was working it here. We'll ride on board with Joshua McCullough through this. Just give me the cockpit camera. Or the gyro, whichever one. There we go. They didn't even have no warning.
Hell, he didn't even know it was coming.
I see that left front got all key. Okay, he took about 2 or 3 good shots right into the left rear. That being said, we'll go ahead and re-rack it.
Well, I can tell you this. I just heard a driver. He's not too happy.
I don't blame him. Not when there's a little bit of money on the line. Only a little. I don't know how much the purse is. I know it varies.
I know I just seen Casey Sprinkle mic up. He better get his ass to bed.
Yeah.
I'll call his mom and dad.
You do that, he might not ever push you again. Not because he doesn't want to either.
Hell, I don't want him to push me.
Lord have mercy. Is that a little bit damage to the John Ward's car? It is. Just noticed that. I don't think Ward was Ward involved in that? I don't think Ward was involved in that little scrap.
No, that damage was from earlier.
It doesn't seem to really be affecting the car all that much. Can you imagine how bad it would be if iRacing actually put an update where if you got some damage, it'll rub the tire, make it go out fast.
Sweet Jesus. Smoke coming off of it, and they're like, Carter, pull over. We can't see. That would actually be really good. That'd be a good one.
Of course, iRacing strives to be as realistic as possible.
Well, you know, Jim, the fast repair doesn't always fix all the damage. It leaves some hanging.
I've always wondered that. I swear I felt like after a fast repair in some races I do, it just does not feel right.
Yeah, it doesn't fix all of it, especially if it's suspension.
The rear racket here, this should be the first attempt at overtime or the second. No, it's not. Apparently this is not the first attempt at overtime, so 2 to go.
I know John's thinking, can I just survive this? Please let me survive it.
Just make it.
He didn't want to be the leader right here.
I don't blame him, but here comes the pole sitter, Joe Herta. Up to second, Jeff Murray waiting to get clear of Craighead. See him look at that already fanning out. There, Jeff Herta got
already leaving John hanging.
See, they're already on the apron. 4 wide back there in mid-pack. Nathan Harper trying to make some ground. Where Leighton is going, I should say. Off the 2, just gotta make it a little bit more. No matter what happens, the race is official. They'll do it. White flag, 1 to go. Now, who do you favor in this position? You see the one, a great run into turn 1. Sizemore trying to make something happen.
Now they're going to race this out. If they wreck with Kenneth McAuliffe's rules, it's a race out.
Right now they're keeping it straight for the moment. Ward trying to keep that bottom lane right up next to that middle. Oh, Falkenham in the wall. They're wrecking again. Keep it on the action here.
I think John's got this one.
I think
I don't
he
see
does.
no challenge.
Comes the outside lane.
Yeah, I don't see no challenge. We'll see right
here. Oh, there they go. Ward will win the big
there
one.
it is.
John Ward returns to victory lane in MMS as the big one happens behind him. Good gosh almighty. They're still ranking. Michael Wingo's night comes to an end. Good gosh almighty. Well, was it to be expected?
I was just congratulating John Ward on the win.
We'll get him up here momentarily. We'll let him soak this one in.
Jim Bob, I think we might see a couple of EOLs right here for the money. I don't know yet. I have to go back and really watch that one.
Matter of fact, we'll do just that. I noticed 60 tries to get to the inside of Ward. At least I believe it was the 60. Well, we'll let John Ward celebrate his victory. We'll look at it from the far chase cam coming off of 4. Of course, pushing. Kenneth just got him at the wrong spot.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be the only EOL.
Just one too many taps. Unfortunately, wrecks out a lot.
I mean, at that point, you got to keep pushing. I mean, there's nothing else you can do as a driver in these intense races other than staying in the throttle, you know what I'm saying, and trying to connect bumpers, and that kind of stuff happens. None of us do it on purpose. That's just the way the race plays out.
Well, I sent out in a message real quick saying the interview room is open. We'll go ahead and pull in John Ward.
What a race, though, Jim Bob. What a race.
Awesome.
What a race.
Let's talk to the man who finally gets that monkey off his back, returns to victory lane. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, buddy, welcome back to victory lane's got to feel good. Take us through the whole night from your perspective of things.
Yeah. I got the W. Oh, at the start, it was a pretty long race. I think it was over like 52 laps or something like that. 54 because of the green, white checkered. But he's talking there. But yeah, the long race, we had a few stops there. These cars, you can push pretty good. Once they get hot, you had to back up, but you could push really good. They're stable. So it was a pretty good run. We had some good stops. We stayed with the leaders for the most part. It was a really good race. Couple yellows. I didn't get caught up in anything. I think I still had a pass repair. Just was up there in the front most of the parts, trying to stay ahead of the wrecks, and we lucked up on this one, and they all ended up tangling up. I thought that Joe was going to come around me at the end there for the checkered, and then they ended up tangling up, and I got it. So I didn't want. I could have went up and blocked. I just want to play it safe there and just get away with it. I'm glad I got the win, though. I needed that one.
Yes, sir, but it's been a long time since you've been back to victory lane. Of course, the 2023 PGR champion. Christopher, you got any question you want to ask old Mr. John Ward?
Oh, yeah, I got some questions. I'll tell you, John. I told him way back at the beginning of this race, I said one thing John Ward is going to do is try to stay up to the front. That's where he's going to try to put his car. When I seen you on the restart right there, best lane you could have picked was the bottom. Stick with the bottom. If it didn't work out, it would have been what it was. But, buddy, you drove a heck of a race right there.
Yeah. The bottom was really strong. If you had temps, you could really get going on the bottom. The top, once you get the temperatures up, the top always, works, prevails. But man, you can really get a good run on that bottom if you get to pushing. So yeah, I definitely want to start on the bottom. And you were right, Chris. When I want to stay up front, sometimes you got to stay up front. It's a fight, but if you stay up front, you can get away from the wrecks, and that's pretty much how you can get it done if you stay ahead of all the wrecks, if you can.
Well, I'll tell you, you had one heck of a pusher there at the end. One heck of a pusher.
Yep. That's another reason I didn't want to go up and leave him at the end there. So.
Good win, John.
Yep. Thank you guys for broadcasting, man.
Yes, sir, John. We're right before you head out there. Anybody want to thank or shout out? Friends, family, sponsors, etc.
Yeah, I want to thank you all for broadcast. First of all, let me thank God, Jesus, for everything. None of us be here doing anything if it wasn't for Him. Thank Jesus and the Lord for everything here. You guys for broadcasting. Do MMS. Kenny, he puts these races on. He does the race control. He got to look at a lot of stuff. He give him a lot of credit for this, and he gives 100% payout on these things, and he does a lot of work, and he races. So give credit out for MMS and everybody part of Dega Pros. That win for everybody in the Dega Pros community. Maybe I'll unban some people and get some more guys in there.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on a hard-fought win. John Ward takes it in the MMS Money Racing Series from Talladega tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Let's see, a couple more drivers. Actually, about 4 more. We'll go ahead and pull in. Michael Barksdale finishes P2 tonight. Michael Barksdale, Garrett Jenkins, John, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, it was one of them nights, crazy night, all around. Just take us through your whole race. What was the strategy coming into this race, and then how did it get altered just throughout?
Strategies always get through the first pit stop and then see where I come out. And I come out late after that first green flag pit stop, and about 15th, and thankfully had one of those cautions that popped up and got me up top 10, and just figured, stay safe, and at the end stay on the low line, and if I'm first, second, fifth, or sixth, hope for the best. So thankfully got second and avoided that last turn crash, and took care of the car.
Were you surprised, though, drivers taking it 3 wide early? Your 52-lap race was a bit of a surprise, or was it to be expected with drivers in the back trying to get track position?
On a Friday night, nothing surprised me. So there's safe racing and there's this racing, and I enjoy both. But yeah, Friday night, everyone's going to do what they got to do.
Christopher, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, that was a good finish there, Michael, with no teammates up there, just fighting it out and making sure you maintain your position. I mean, what a race for you.
That's one of the things is I don't try to come in here and I haven't tried to group up with anybody, but obviously know who's teammates with each other, and try not to ruin anybody's race, but at the same time feed off it and learn a little bit. I've been racing for years, but not with this group. It's probably about a year now, and just trying to learn the form of racing and do what I can to be up front.
It's a tough group. It's a really tough group, isn't it?
Indeed.
Well, Michael Barksdale, I believe it's the first time I've interviewed you. I might have interviewed you during the HDR race, but at this point, I like to give the drivers the chance to shout out anybody watching, friends, family, sponsors, etc. So at this moment, the floor is yours.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank my wife for being out of town and not interrupt me tonight and let me race all night long. The HDR guys, they seem, have all been about the nicest just to learn from and get better from. And obviously want to thank you all for broadcasting.
All right, buddy. Hell of a drive tonight. Michael Barksdale comes home P2. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate the wife for being out of town. Good Lord.
Gotta love that one.
We'll get Joe Hurt in here next. Joe Hurt, Garrett Jenkins, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, man? I got you.
Well, buddy, start on pole was not, but that was not the whole story. It was a hard fought just to get back to third. Can you take us through the whole events tonight?
Yeah, I got lucky a few times in this one. I think crossing the finish line in reverse is a first for me, but I'm glad it worked out. I realized that fuel saving would have been the best bet, because if we wouldn't have got a caution, we could have one-stopped it and just would have been miles out ahead of field. There's about 3-4 cars on the same strat, but I got caught in a checkup, got hooked. Luckily didn't hit anything, but dropped all the way to the back of the field, and just got a hope and pray that we can make it without me running out of fuel again, so I can gain track position if there are wrecks. But it worked out. I thought I had the win and move, and I feel like I did, but got hooked there. But still happy to come out with a podium.
And I will ask this because I feel like Carter would like to know as well. Whenever the other pack, when you made that first green flag pit stop, you and Falkenham and all them, y'all got out great. But whenever there's that incident with the other pack coming in, were you surprised that they were able to get as linked together as what they were through all that calamity?
I think so. I expected us to at least come out like dead even to ahead of them, but we were miles ahead behind them and had to link up and get the run just to stay even. But yeah, I think it was just the case that they were lined up better before they made the pit stop, and we were about like 10, 20 car lengths back, so I think that's where the gap came from. But we were able to maintain up there at least, but us pushing that hard, trying to get up to them, meant they were better on fuel, so it was a little nerve-wracking. But when that caution came out, it kind of leveled it out.
Christopher, you got any questions for him?
Hell yeah, I do. Joe put a hurt on him. I'll tell you that right now. He got him a third place finish.
That's what I do.
You couldn't expect any better than that, unless you was the leader at that end. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys had great pit stops, man.
Yeah, there's one I was wheel hopping in, and I crossed over it in the grass, and I got really lucky not getting a commitment violation. But I guess whoever's in the tower was taking a nap because they didn't see it. But it was a fun race. Thank you guys for broadcasting.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Joe Herta comes in third tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Yep. That being said, there's nobody else in the waiting room, so as the cat is tearing up Jack in here, we'll go ahead and go through the field. See how they wind up. So after a very interesting way to start off this MMS with a power outage and all that, John Ward able to come home your winner. Michael Barksdale second. Joe Herta third. Jeff Murrick in fourth. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in fifth. Cameron Craighead rounds out the paying positions, but it's like you said, Christopher, is subject to change.
Always.
Matthew Lee seventh. Michael Wingo eighth. Richard Elliott ninth. Malik Ray will round out the top 10. You want to take it 11th through 18th?
Yeah, Mr. Nathan Harper finished 11th. Privateer, 12th. Or Nathan Harper, my bad. 12th, Josh McAuliffe. Bobby Rochelle. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's
Rachel?
how I've been pronouncing it.
I'm just making fun. 14th was Kenny Rill. 15th was Steve Sizemore. And my buddy, William H. Scott, finished 16th. 17th was Ron Morris Jr. And another buddy of mine, Daniel Falkingham, finished 18th.
I'll tell you, if you're Steve Sizemore, the woes continue. Had a great run off and on tonight, unfortunately. Like you said,
I was hoping the best for him.
I was too. Him and several others. We'll go on down through the lineup here. I'll take, well, I went with one more left. Joey Allen. After a great run tonight, Allen up there in top 5 the majority of the night, will have to settle for a 19th position. And man, of course, I don't know who these two bums down here at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think I finished the worst.
Buddy, Christopher Carter, but I hope we get to do this again. It was fun. Colin, the last half of HGR and then the whole race for MMS with you. Man, I hope we do this again someday.
Man, buddy, I'm glad you were so bored that you was going to pull a fool in like me to help you out with this night. I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever done it. I hope everybody could get past that you brought me in here. But yeah, Jim, loved it.
It was it's a whole different perspective doing it from here.
It really is. It really is.
Of course, you look at it sometimes and you wonder, good God, why do I do this for a living?
Well, I can tell you this. It's an experience I will never forget. I thank Jimmy Crow for letting me come in with you. And even though he didn't have nothing to do with it, he didn't know it was going to happen. Neither did Kenneth. But it's been a blast, man. It really has. It's a different view. It really is. Not everybody can do what you guys do.
I can't. I do my best still an upstart trying to make a name for myself, working out all the kinks. But tomorrow night, Inspired ARCA, the first round of their playoffs begin. 8 drivers like Cup, going for one championship in about 6 weeks' time. Won't want to miss it there. Then HGR potentially planned on Sunday. And buddy, we'll get ready to do it again on next week.
That's right. Race on.
With that being said, Christopher Carter, again, appreciate you joining me up here in the booth to call an action-packed Friday night. And, buddy, just look forward to any races you do tomorrow. Hope you win some. And as far as I'm concerned, I will see all y'all tomorrow night for Inspired. And until then, everybody have a good night. We will see you next time.
Good night.